Bradley, I'm a tenured employee here at Emory University.
I'm Christopher Johnson. I'm a 4-year employee at Sodexo at Emory University.
Clara Reed. I'm a 4-year employee at Sodexo at Emory University.
Do you want a mic?
Hello again. I want to thank you guys for coming out and listening to our concerns and giving us your support. I'm here to say that, like I said, I'm a tenured employee. I've been working for Sodexo for the last 6 years. And when Sodexo first came to Emory University, my pay rate was at $10.10 an hour. 6 years later, I only make $11.51 an hour. So that means in 6 years, they only gave me $1.41 as far as a raise. And I know I'm not the only employee who's had a slap in the face like that, you know? You guys come to the cafeterias and to eat every day and you see our smiles. We're professional. We'll give you guys good service, and I know you appreciate it, you know? But I'm here to let it be known that we're not being treated fairly, you know, and it's hard to support our families, you know? I mean, I have children who I can't take out and do nice things with, like on the weekend sometime, you know? I was even forced over the summer to pawn my son's Xbox in order to pay a bill, you know? And I'm not ashamed to stand here and say that because, like I say, we work for a company that makes billions every year, you know? So I think it's time for them to start spreading the wealth, you know, and showing their employees appreciation for the work that we do. You know, so I ask you again to continue to support us and stand with us in our fight to achieve our goal as far as getting a union and making our lives better. I'm not going to stay here the whole day throughout the event because today's my birthday, so my family has something planned for me. Again, I just thank you guys for coming out and listening to our concerns. Continue to support us, and I hope the rest of the meeting goes well. Thank you.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear William. Happy birthday to you.
Hi, once again, I'm Christopher Johnson, and I was a part of that team when Martin went to the president's office to show some concern of how sometimes we're being disrespectful in the workplace. I can tell you of an incident that happened with me. I'm one of those people that I work at the exhibition station, which means I prep my own food, I cook it, and I serve it to the students. And there are many of my students that have allergies, so I have to be careful what I'm cooking to make sure that they come by to tell them that you can or cannot have that particular item. One day I came into work and we had a meeting, as if he was talking about the meeting about the anti-union, and we had to go to that meeting. So, which means somebody else had to prepare my food for me. This meeting lasted longer than they had expected it to. It lasted like an hour, maybe 30 minutes. So upon returning to my workstation, I found that the food that was supposed to be prepared for me was sitting out, and the food that was already cooked for me was still sitting out. So me being a concerned person that I am, I know that if it was at my house, seafood cannot sit out for a certain amount of time. So I was not really outraged, but upset because I wanted to know how long it had been sitting out and why wasn't it put in the proper place it was supposed to be put. So I found upon myself to go find the chef and say, "Chef, I don't know how long it's been sitting out. The food that he did cook is not in a hot box. I'm concerned, is this gonna be okay for me to serve?" We checked it out, it was okay. And I also went to the person who prepared it for me and I asked him what was the ingredients, because I have kids, I shouldn't say kids, but certain students that can have certain things and cannot eat certain things. And I guess this particular chef was upset at the fact that I asked him the question, what was the ingredient that he put in it and how long it had been sitting out. So upon going to get my station ready and it's almost time to open up, the general manager came to me and like, "I need you in my office." I was like, "I'm getting ready to serve." He said, "Now." So I was like, "Okay, what have I done?" I went to the office. That was the three of them, the general manager, the executive chef, and one of the sous chefs. all sitting. I went in, they said, close the door, I closed the door. He said, you can sit. I said, no, I'd rather stand, because the way they were looking at me, I was like, okay, what have I done? So the first thing he does was attack me. He was like, I'm so sick and tired of your nasty attitude. You walk around here disrespecting everybody. You thinking you own this place and you talking about your food. I said, and I took a step to look to see why isn't the chef coming to my defense. So I guess by me stepping back, he was like, you'll get your turn to talk. So I let him finish and talked about me, and to me, it was a slap in the face to me, because I'm like, I know he can't be talking about me. So I let him finish, and I was like, are you seriously talking about me with a nasty attitude, being disrespectful, coming here and being rude to people? Because that's not me. You can ask all my coworkers. When I walk in here, the first thing I do from the back of the house to the front of the house, I speak to everybody. I give them a smile. Majority of my coworkers are waiting on me to give them a spiritual upliftment for the day, sing a song. So when I heard all the complaints he had against me, I looked at the chef and I was like, the first thing I did to you when I came to this meeting, did I not ask you, why was my food still out, not at the proper temperature? Why was my cooked food not in the proper place it's supposed to be? Did I not ask you these questions? He was like, yes. Then I turned to the person who I asked, did I not ask you what ingredients you put in my food, because I need to know what students can have this food and what students cannot have this food? And they were like, yeah, you did. I said, but did I come to you in a rude manner? Did I ask you in an ugly way? Was I upset about it? I guess I was upset, but not to the point where I was coming off in a mean manner. So after they heard my story, and the chef looked at me, he was like, well, started kind of defending me. Well, she's a good worker. She does do the things the way she's supposed to do. And I was like, why didn't you say something to him while he was, you know, giving me all this thing, crap that I was like being a bad person? So at the end, he ended up apologizing, but to me, I felt like that was just, it was a late apology, because you attacked me first instead of asking me what happened, what did you say, you know, what was wrong. And me being a cook, I felt like all the questions that I asked the chef, all the questions that I asked the other sous chefs were the appropriate question to ask, because this is food that's been sent out, it's seafood. If I had served that food and it was at a wrong temperature, somebody could have gotten sick. Or if I had served that food to one of my students who's allergic to a certain product, that student could have gotten sick. So I felt I did all the natural procedure of doing what I was supposed to do, but yet and still I was, you know, pointed a finger at and talked about before you could even ask, you know, what happened. And to me, that was wrong. And another other incident I can tell you that happened just this week. We are doing different food at my station now. They call it the street car instead of, it was once called International. This is the second time that I've cooked this dish. The first time I cooked it, I knew I didn't do the whole procedure because it was supposed to be rolled up. I didn't roll it up. I thought it looked more prettier presented the way I presented. The general manager walked by my station, saw that they was put out there, and he was like, this ain't right. Didn't come to me and tell me it wasn't right. He went and got another chef and came and told him, this is not right, they don't have the right product, it's not rolled. And I'm saying, why is he telling him and not telling me? Because I'm the person who's executing this dish. And if you went and took a class on how to present this dish, why didn't you come back and give me that information to make sure that I did it correctly? Instead of looking at me and pointing your finger and telling me this is wrong, this is not how it has to be done, because I'm not a child. I could have easily accepted the fact of you pulling me to the side and saying, Crystal, I just took a class on how to do this dish and this is the way you should have done it, instead of you going and get another chef and say, this is not right, this is not the way it's supposed to be. And like I say, I'm an adult. I can take you pulling me to the side and saying, this is the way it's supposed to be done, or this is how, you know, it needs to look, instead of you coming and being ugly about it. And this is something that we go through, I won't say on a weekly basis, but, you know, every other week is something that's wrong or something that's, you know, they don't have the right products. And if we do it, you know, it's like, you know, that's not right. And I just think it's, out of all fairness, if an executive chef or a general manager goes and learns how to prepare a dish, it's only fair on their behalf to come back and show us, the people who's going to cook that dish, the right way to do it. And this is what we're dealing with. And like I said, I want to thank you guys for coming out and hearing my voice, because like I said, I'm to the point where, you know, if we're going to be out here producing recipes that you guys are handing us, at least if you're going to take in a class as an executive chef or a general manager, come back and share with us, the cooks who are going to execute this dish. Show us the right steps on how to do it, instead of waiting till we do it and then saying it's wrong.